So, Chris, I have a question for you. And just for clarity, if I heard correctly, RecruitMilitary is basically global, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. And so my question is, how does your organization ensure that service members or veterans in rural areas have the same access in those that are not in rural areas? And I ask this question because maybe about in September, we had a meeting here in my state, in the state of Alabama, and we were trying to determine how could organizations, the resources that are out there for service members, veterans, and their families can bridge that gap to service members that are in rural areas that may not have the access, like I said, to those that are not to the resources, not aware of what's out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. And it's something that we field on a pretty regular basis. And that's why our operation is scaled and structured the way that it is. That's why we don't just have one vertical, one primary focus. Peel back all the layers. Our core competency is connectivity. We facilitate the connection between the job seeking member from the military community and that company that specifically wants to hire and retain them. But it's not a one size fits all. I mentioned our hiring events. The hiring events are not the solution for everybody, and it can't be because we're not physically in every single market. We're not in every single state. We have a really nice, pretty robust blend of events that are held on installations, that are held in cities, as well as the virtual offering that we have. But the beauty of most of this, again, stems from that ecosystem, our career portal, which is where you are initially creating that professional profile and uploading your resume. That is the most target-rich environment, is the best way I can explain it to somebody from our community. We let technology take over where we can't, be in every single place, every zip code, et cetera. You have service members that are in very remote areas, when they're serving in the Guard and Reserve, and we want to make sure they're not overlooked. So we have yet to encounter a single individual or a zip code where there isn't representation of opportunities for them. It doesn't matter if you're in, the nooks and crannies of the Dakotas or, anywhere throughout Alabama. We have a robust array. We have thousands and thousands of opportunities across every single state. So again, by virtue of that professional profile, you're on the radar just by virtue of that, because the system is algorithmically combing at all times and identifying service members' future work interests, those data points that we were just talking about, and doing matchmaking with the employers. So as a service member has access to this ecosystem, thousands of recruiters have the same access. They're looking for these job seekers. They're looking for them in every corner of the country and the world in many cases. So your service members in the great state of Alabama will be found in many cases. They can be passive job seekers simply by having that professional profile. Our system will do that matchmaking. We'll pair them with local opportunities and local opportunities that categorically fit what they want to do moving forward. So we do leverage a lot of technology. We build it all in-house. We have our own development team, our own engineers, and we build this infrastructure to specifically address that sort of issue, because we know that not everybody can make it to a hiring event. So so I would say it's a blend between the way that we're structured with those three verticals, as well as the technology that we leverage to make sure that nobody's left behind.
Okay.